Okay guys, so before we begin chapter 11, lesson 3, go ahead and open your Friday packet to the very first page. And let's look at this anchor chart. I have it on the board as well. Make sure, please tear it out right now. I do not want this back. This is not for you to give back to me. This is for you to keep to help you on your test. I don't just print it out just for it to travel to your home. You look at it for like 3 minutes and then it just comes back. This is for you. It will help you study for your test. It will help you understand. So tear it out right now. I do not want it back. If I get it back, well then you don't have it anymore because I'm not sending it back to you. So you won't have it to help you study or to help you remember. Okay, so today we're talking about customary capacity. Capacity, we will learn in this lesson, is how much a container can hold. What can it hold? That is its capacity. So if we look here, we have the customary units of capacity from the smallest to the largest. We will also be adding one that they don't have on here because we're going to be adding fluid ounces, which are over here. They are the smallest. So we start with fluid ounces, which is like about what a spoon can hold. That would be 1 fluid ounce. Then we have a cup, which is the next size, and then we have a cup is like not quite my stick cup. This cup would probably hold about a pint. But, so a smaller cup, like a normal sized cup that you might drink out of, would hold about a cup. Then we have a pint, which is like those milk cartons that you guys drink at lunch. Then we have a quart, which is like the tall milk cartons that you see at the grocery store. And then we have a gallon, which is the largest. Those are those, you can actually see the milk through it, the clear plastic jugs that they have at the grocery store. So, remember this because you need to know this when we're doing conversions from smallest to largest. The units of customary capacity are fluid ounces, which we don't actually have a picture of, but we'll see it in the book. Then cups, then pints, then quarts, then gallons. And we'll talk more about how many of each of these smaller units are in the larger units on Monday when we do converting customary capacities. So, let's see. Okay, we've talked about that, so now let's go ahead and look at the book. Go ahead and open up your book to page 709. Okay, so first, let's go ahead and read the sentences under the title of this lesson together. It says, the amount of liquid a container can hold is its capacity. Now that is an important definition for you to know, so I want you to underline that. The amount of liquid a container can hold is its capacity. Different containers measure different capacities. So here, underneath that, we have pictures of real-world items that are that hold the amount that it says. So here we have a nail polish bottle. Now this is probably like a really, really small nail polish bottle, and it holds 1 fluid ounce. Then we have a measuring cup. Most of those measuring cups that are like this size hold 1 cup. Then we have the milk cartons like you have at school that hold 1 pint. Then we have the milk cartons that you see at the grocery store that hold 1 quart. They don't normally sell small, sometimes they do, but not as much. Mostly you'll see this. And then they have the 1 gallon jugs of milk. So each of these containers hold a different capacity. They hold a different amount of liquid. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. We're going to be talking about containers that hold liquid. And we are going to figure out, mostly today what we're going to be doing is figuring out which estimate is reasonable, or you will be making your own estimate where you have to say the number and the unit. How many nail polish bottles can fit in this picture of a swimming pool? Or how many of these measuring cups? Or do you need to use these really big gallons? Because if you're trying to fill a swimming pool, are you going to measure it by doing 1 little spoonful at a time? Or are you going to do 1 bucket at a time? So let's go ahead and look at example 1. Okay, so everybody finger a pencil on example 1 and read in your head while I read out loud. Jorge is filling an aquarium. Which container should Jorge use to fill his aquarium most quickly? So is he going to use a measuring cup that holds 1 cup of water? A larger measuring bowl that measures 1 quart? Or does he want to use a big 1-gallon jug? So, to fill the aquarium most quickly, Jorge should use the container that will hold the most liquid. Otherwise, he's going to be running back and forth from his kitchen sink to his aquarium over and over and over again. So, the largest container will cause the least amount of trips. So he can fill it faster if he uses a larger container. The more water he puts in at once, the less times he has to do it. So, the gallon is the largest unit, and it will fill the aquarium most quickly. You can fill it with any of these containers, but if you want to do it as quickly as possible, you want to use the largest container. Okay, now let's look at example 2. So everyone finger a pencil on example 2. This question is another example of what we're going to be doing. We'll mostly be doing this, where not only do we have to pick the unit, but we also have to figure out how many of those units we need. So read the question to yourself while I read out loud. Nita is pouring salsa into a small bowl. Is the most reasonable estimate for the capacity of the bowl 8 fluid ounces, 8 cups, 8 quarts, or 8 gallons? Well, let's imagine it with those real-world objects they told us at the beginning of this lesson. Think it's a small bowl, like what you would get at if you went to a Mexican restaurant. Would 8 nail polish bottles fit? Or the nail polish in the 8 nail polish bottles? 8 measuring cups full of salsa? 8 cartons of salsa? Or 8 big jugs of salsa? So think of that small bowl. It's like this size. Do we want to fit 8 ounces, or the amount that would fit in 8 nail polish bottles, 8 cups, or the amount that would fit in 8 measuring cups, 8 quarts, or the amount that would fit in those cartons you see at the grocery store, or 8 gallons, or those big jugs of milk that you see at the grocery store? The salsa bowl only holds a small amount. So 8 gallons, 8 quarts, and 8 cups are way too big. So that means the most reasonable estimate for the capacity of the bowl is 8 fluid ounces. So make sure you have fluid ounces. Make sure you don't have ounces without fluid, because that means something else. So make sure you have 8 fluid ounces. We did see the abbreviations on, I forgot to point those out, but if we look at, I'm going to write them right here. You don't need to write them because you have them on your anchor chart up at the top. I meant to point this out, but I forgot. You have cup with the abbreviation C, pint with the abbreviation PT, quart with the abbreviation QT, gallon with the abbreviation GAL, and you can use those abbreviations. You can either write the word out or you can use the abbreviations on your homework. The abbreviation for fluid ounces is FL space, because it's 2 words, OZ. I don't know why it's OZ instead of OU or something else, but the abbreviation for fluid ounces is FL space OZ. So, again, I will say it one more time. In this lesson, you may spell out the whole word for fluid ounces, cups, pints, gallons, or quarts, which I forgot. Or you may use the abbreviations. FLOZ for fluid ounces, C for cup, PT for pint, QT for quart, and GAL for gallon. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on to the guided practice. Okay, so now you should be on the guided practice, and for this we are choosing the most reasonable estimate for each capacity. So they are giving us an object. We are thinking of the actual object, not the picture of the object. So here we're thinking of an actual fishbowl, an actual pitcher, and an actual paint can. Not these small little pictures. And what we're going to do is we are going to choose the best estimate from these choices that they give us. So number one, we have a fishbowl. Would a fishbowl be more likely to hold 1 fluid ounce, or the amount of 1 nail polish bottle? 1 pint, or the amount of the milk carton at lunch? 1 quart, or the amount of the milk carton at the grocery store? Or 100 quarts, or the size of 100 of those cardboard cartons from the grocery store? Well, 1 fluid ounce is way too small. That fish would have no water. It would not last long. Same with a pint. There would be a little more, but still not enough. Like the fish may not even be completely covered with water. 100 quarts is like the amount that you would put in a really big fish tank, not a fish bowl. So the answer is C, 1 quart. Okay, number 2, we have a jug, like a pitcher, like your mom or dad might have, that they might make lemonade or iced tea or something in, and put it in the refrigerator. So, does it hold 4 fluid ounces, or the amount of 4 nail polish bottles? 10 cups, or the amount of, this is about 2 cups, so if we say this is 2 cups, would it hold about 5 of these cups? Would it be more likely to hold 400? So, if we repeated this 200 times, or would it be most likely to hold 10 gallons, or the amount of 10 milk jugs? Well, 4 fluid ounces is too small. That would probably only fill up to like right here. And we would definitely want more juice than that, or lemonade or iced tea or whatever it is. 400 cups and 10 gallons would be way too much. We'd be overflowing long before we even got through maybe even like one group of those things. So G, 10 cups, is the most reasonable answer. Okay, number 3, we have a paint can. Does it hold 1 fluid ounce, or the amount of 1 nail polish bottle? 1 cup, or the amount in 1 measuring cup? 1 pint, or the amount in 1 of those lunch milk cartons? Or 1 gallon, the amount that's in a milk jug that you might get from the grocery store? Well, 1 fluid ounce, 1 cup, and 1 pint would not be enough. You may be able to get a thing of paint that's one pint, but it's only going to be like that big. Definitely not in one of these big cans. So 1 gallon, D, is the most reasonable answer. Let's look at this talk math right here. It says, is it possible for 2 containers with different shapes to have a capacity of 1 pint? Explain. Well, yes, it is, because we have this cup, which holds about a pint, and then we have a milk carton that also holds about a pint. This is more of a cylinder, while a milk carton is more of a, rectangular prism. So those definitely are not the same shape, but they hold the same amount. In your book, you see that you have a carton of whipping cream and a carton of ice cream. They both hold 1 pint of their contents, but they are different shapes. So yes, it is possible for 2 containers with different shapes to both have a capacity of 1 pint. The shape of the container does not matter. It's the amount of liquid it holds. It's like when we talked in science about volume. Volume and capacity are similar things. Okay, so we're not going to do any of the independent practice together, but we will go through it really quick. Numbers 4 through 6 are just like the guided practice. Numbers 10 through 12, you not only have to come up with the best, so numbers 10 through 12 say estimate the capacity of each object. So you're not just telling me what unit would be best, you are telling me how many of those units. So I'll help you out a little bit with a water bottle. For a water bottle, like you might bring to class, would you be more likely to measure it to fill it using fluid ounces, cups, quarts, or pints, quarts, or gallons? Well, most likely it's not quite enough to measure in cups, because you probably won't even be able to get 2 full cups in a normal sized water bottle. So you would probably use fluid ounces. But not only do you have to tell me fluid ounces, you have to tell me how many fluid ounces would fit in. So how many of the amount that would fit in a little nail polish bottle would fit into that water bottle. And I'm not going to give you an amount because that's up to you to think. You took a nail polish bottle. How many times would you have to fill it and dump it into that water bottle to fill it? Then on number 13, you're choosing which one is best. Number 14 and 15, you are using this chart to answer these questions. You do need to explain, so you need to use words to tell what you did. Don't forget to show work. You will probably have to do some operations, like you may have to do some multiplication or something like that. But you do need to, these are really, you're going to have to really think. 16 through 18 are critical thinking and reasoning, so you need to use what you learned today along with what you already learned to answer these questions. Then on the homework, numbers 1 through 4 are just like the guided practice. Numbers 5 through 9, you are matching. So it's kind of like the guided practice, but you're matching. Each one will only match to one of these objects. So you will not have 2 objects going to a capacity. Each one will match once. So you are going to figure out how which of these, like cereal bowl, which one is the most reasonable capacity, and you'll draw a line. Number 10 and 11 are word problems. You need to answer those. Make sure that you have numbers and units or words, whatever you need. Number 11 and 13 are vocabulary, and then number 14 is just like numbers 1 through 4, just without the picture. Okay, that's it. If you have any questions about today's lesson, please reach out to me this afternoon on Skype or FaceTime, and I will be happy to help. Make sure that you do that. Don't just guess, because again, I won't really be able to see your homework before you take the test. So make sure you reach out to me if you have any questions.